So hi, Joya. How are you been?
Great. How are you,
Very good.
Ella? Do you have your tea today?
I do. In fact, I've just been given a Finnish tea from
Oh,
my sister-in-law who's just come back from Finland. So I'm looking forward to trying it. It was perfect timing. Literally in the last couple of hours, she gave me a new tea. So it's a black tea with berries and I think mint or something.
ooh,
Smells
sounds delicious.
delicious. Yeah. So how's your week been?
Very interesting. What about yours?
Uh, Calm. It's been nice. I've been looking out for tests and just really practicing my
Okay.
practices of being quite in the moment. Yeah, but steady, steady week.
So when we finished our call last week, you said you were going to get out a journal and write down um maybe evidence, or I'm not sure what you were going to record. So what did you record?
This was yeah, so I was basically tracking my tests this week. So
Okay.
I set out with crafting a manifestation list. So I think I mentioned last week, and I have been over the last year doing 2B magnetics work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about becoming more authentic and stepping into who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
as you do that, you become more magnetic. So you're attracting automatically those things that you desire.
Mm-hmm.
And in this last week, I've been looking more at tests, seeing what comes up. Once I crafted my manifestation list and put it out there, I was feeling like, okay, so let's see how tests might come up. It as soon as I crafted certain specifics on the list, certain
Mm-hmm.
aspects of parallel to those desires started coming into play. So, shall I give you an example?
Yes.
So, not just directly connected to me, because obviously I am manifesting alongside my husband because we're both going for the same goal,
Mm-hmm.
but he's doing it in a very different way to me. So
Of course.
he's doing his thing and I'm doing mine, but at the ultimate goal is both of us creating something together.
Mm-hmm.
And on this day, I can't remember whether it was Tuesday, I think it was a case of, okay, so we're going to start the renovation project for the beach
Oh,
house. This has
nice.
been something that's been on the list for the last 6 months. Now it seems to be the right time, and so it's starting to happen. But that same day, so this triggered like, okay, finances, let's get those in. Now it's happening. And
Right, right, right.
within the same half hour, someone who, I don't want to give too much away because it's like not my
Yeah.
story, it's my husband's story, but
Okay.
him and his company, there were some expected payments that they were deferred. And
Okay.
so that triggered a test in him. And
Right.
as a result, directly could have triggered a test in me.
Uh-huh.
But I am choosing to practice certainty. So I'm just trusting,
Okay.
okay, well, this is okay. This is not going to knock me or waver from the end goal. So it
Uh-huh.
was a perfect opportunity for me to practice breathing into the pause, changing the
Mhm.
dialogue in my own head, and continuing through with lightness and trust, even
Yeah.
though within the same hour of each other. So we met with the architect and the contractor and they were going ahead. And then like within an hour later, that phone call was like coming.
Yeah.
So even though that
But
meant
you
coming,
still went ahead with the project. It
oh,
didn't
we're
say,
still
oh yeah.
going
Yeah,
ahead. Yeah. And it
exactly.
wasn't like the 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 payment of that he's expecting to receive has anything to do with
Mm-hmm.
the project itself. It
Right.
does test your trust
Your
muscle.
certainty, for sure.
Yeah, as far as like
So
the
do you feel
end of,
stronger in your certainty now?
what helped in that scenario was the fact that it was happening to him. I was able to have conversation around the trust muscle.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice for us as the partnership, you know, like, again.
So do you think he grew his trust muscle as well through your conversation?
Well, I've kind of asked him, because I have also been looking at the work of, you know, not sitting in lack and going after everything from a place of we already have everything we need, and to really trust it. And when certain things need to be paid, they will be paid. And so in this moment right now, let's not react to those kind of calls from a place of fear or lack. Let's just breathe through those.
Yeah.
Continue on our quest.
Right. Basically, you can have faith or fear. And so it's like, get away from the fear, go back to the faith. I know it's going to happen. It's for me.
It all happens in that pause, in that moment of testing.
You catch it. Yeah. Well, you catch the fear and you shift back to the faith. But so like, how is that all you do? Just catch yourself in that moment to shift to faith and certainty? Or like, how do you help yourself shift from the fear to the faith?
It's in each and every moment.
But like noticing, I'm falling into fear, so I'm going to choose to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually started a Substack this week around, so I've done 2, but my goal is to do 1 a day, Monday to Friday. And I wrote about the 3 pauses, which has been kind of interesting along my journey of growth. Those 3 pauses are connected to, so the beginning of law of attraction, then it's mindfulness, and now the Kabbalah pause, which I think I touched on last week.
So wait, I don't know anything about these 3 different pauses. Is it like a 3-step
they're kind of from my own
3 different types? Okay.
Yeah. So the like my journey broken down into 3 different pauses.
Okay.
So the first one, law of attraction, is when this is all from my experience. This is not someone like telling me this is a truth. This is just like something I've noticed in my journey.
It's you're coining these terms. Perfect.
Well, no, some of them have come from somewhere, but like the Kabbalah pause is a thing. The mindful pause is a thing.
All right.
So the first one, the first awakening, let's say, was when I was aware of the law of attraction. And so in a moment of recognition of maybe lack, I would force to turn it into a positive, or find a positive spin, or push away the fear, or push away, like not allow it to be there. It was resistance. It's almost like a toxic positivity in a way of like you were taught to be positive. Okay, through the law of attraction.
And not allowing yourself to process whatever's coming up.
Exactly. So practiced the law of attraction, grew strength in being more of a positive and optimistic person, actually became that person. And then what mindfulness did was actually teach me to just be present in the moment, to acknowledge how that moment is feeling. And so choosing a way to respond without reaction.
Slow down enough to notice and choose.
Yeah. So things would come up and continue to come up, but maybe I would not be so reactive to a situation, but not necessarily look for the positive from it either. Just accept it as it is. So it taught me to slow down. And not necessarily change anything.
All right.
But in that slowing down, you can also acknowledge that you're okay and you're safe.
Right.
Because in this moment, I do not lack. It's only in the future moment that I might feel like I might lack having the thing.
Yeah. So you're kind of allowing more, whatever it is to be. It is what it is.
And then in the Kabbalah pause, where you're saying, what a pleasure it is that this thing is coming to me. It's
Whatever
actually
it is, good, bad,
creating,
whatever it is, it's growing you.
it's creating that transformation of, oh, this is serving me. And so therefore, if I can continue to allow it to feed me, however it wants to come to me, I will be rid of my lack if that's what's coming at me right now. If I continue to sit in it and work through it, I will overcome that fear of the lack
Right.
eventually.
So, and then when that's gone, your lesson is learned, right?
Yeah,
and so you don't need to feel it anymore.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was a nice awareness of how does the journey from law of attraction to the Kabbalah, how's that taken place throughout my story?
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so I've been kind of looking at how then that has affected like the current state of the world. Like LA has been on my mind so much, and I've been all the meditations, just putting out light and prayer. And curiously, the Too Big Magnetic team, they're all based there. And on calls this week, they were actually having to leave the recording of the podcast because they were getting evacuated.
Yeah, it's so intense.
And the podcast they were discussing was all to do with tests, and they were being highly tested in this moment. How they had to sit in safety within themselves, no matter what is going on all around them.
Right.
So I feel like the Kabbalah pause is all around you knowing that you have everything that you need inside of you. And so it doesn't matter what is going on around you.
And yeah, that things will work out for the best in the end, we hope. I don't know. I like the way the community is pulling together and helping each other out. I feel like that is growing, that group, and it's helpful there. We'll see what happens, but it is just really devastating.
Through this devastation, I do feel like they will, and we all, as we are watching, are seeing the love and kindness and generosity of the people, not necessarily the government. I mean, everyone is doing what they can.
Right.
But I think
the people really pull their socks up in a situation like this, and they help.
And it's scary, but it's also like from a personal viewpoint, this week I have had so much deep appreciation for just sleeping at night and waking up. No chaos in my life. Everything is calm, and just the fact that everyday things I feel so much more joyful around, that practice of, I'm washing all these clothes for all these people that love me and I love, and one day I might not have to do all this washing for so many people.
So appreciating all that stuff. Yes,
but
of
really
course.
tapping into that this week, because it's heavy out there. So that's kind of my awakening, a little bit of leaning into it. And you?
So yeah, I decided to look at, the model of, we want to have something, so we do things to be or feel a certain way. But like the model where you actually embody being that person first, and then you do certain things, and then you end up having the thing. But really the difference is you want to have the thing to externally validate who you are, right? So you're working backwards. You're internally validating who you are, and then you end up having the thing. So like, how do you do that? You become that person through like what you think, and then you can do that through affirmations or whatever. And then your thoughts, if you can make them your beliefs, then you embody being that person. So this is my week, right? I decided to think, okay, so I want a relationship. Why do I want this relationship, right? Who do I want to be? Why do I want this? So I want to feel loved. I want to feel desired. I want to feel loving, like I am a loving person or lovable. And so I decided to like write my affirmations, like I am desirable, I am lovable, I am loving, and then go around and look for evidence, right? Confirm that I am this. And so like, I don't know, when I went to the supermarket, I saw somebody making eye contact. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm desirable. And no, I wasn't holding a pineapple. But yeah, so I was just writing these things down and like noticing. And then like when Bryce was eating his lunch and he appreciated the food that I made, I'm like, oh yes, he's receiving my love. Great. I'm lovable. Or I'm loving. And then I started to overthink it and like trip up and like wonder, okay, all of my evidence is coming from these external sources. Like this is how I am internal validation because I'm looking for evidence. So then I thought, well, this is a great thing to ask you. Like, how do you interpret this? I ended up like coming to my own conclusion, but I'm curious, like, what do you think? How does this work? Like, what is I'm changing my thoughts to beliefs because I'm looking, like, these are my affirmations and I'm looking for confirmations externally. What is the difference here between wanting that thing as my external validation to prove who I am, or these little things around me that show me, like, yes, I am who I say I am?
I feel that it's more about how it feels to give that love and put it out there rather than wait for the acknowledgement of that as a gift in return. So
that's when I say I'm loving. So fine, that's great. But when I want to say I am lovable, like that's what I'm looking for. I am desirable.
I think that you should acknowledge it when you receive it, but the looking for the acknowledgement of it is still
always going to be external.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then how do I become strong in that belief?
I think that you continue to do, but not look for it daily. Like just appreciate it when it actually does show up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Not
Noticing
sort
when
of
it comes and being
head
like,
out to
yeah,
try.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my thoughts were, as I notice this and accept it as it comes, my beliefs become stronger. And then I'm just like, when I have that relationship or the thing and I am desired, it's like, well, duh, like I know I'm desirable, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like basing, looking
Filling
for that
yourself
external
up.
validation on one source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So that was the conclusion I came to.
it's like when I find the penny on the street, it's like, oh, money's coming my way, you know, but I'm not actually looking for the penny.
Right.
You know, there's a kind of like, and then I write it in my journal, or I found
it.
I found a penny, or it showed up like this.
Yeah. It's kind of like coming from it with the need or the noticing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was where my week was. And then I moved on to like, just what are the things that I can do, like actions I can take. So like make meals with love, give that love when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning my house. I'm not loving cleaning my house, but I'm cleaning my house with love, like using my essential oils and just massaging that furniture. And then I guess feel like sexy or desirable by going to my dance classes and moving my body and just doing those things.
And loving yourself, like really having appreciation and love for yourself. Like you don't need that to come from someone else. If you are filled up with love and appreciation for everything around you and everything you have and who you are, there's nothing missing. It's really learning to see that you are everything that you need and you have everything you need right now. There is nothing missing. Even in the knowing that that person who is right now in your mind maybe just one person, but to feel loved, you cannot just get that from one person. You feel loved because your parents love you. You feel loved because your
Yeah.
children love you. You need all
Yeah.
types of love to feel
Yes.
truly loved.
Yeah. And then going to that place of like certainty, like, okay, so I have it. Like, let's imagine I'm there. I have whatever relationship this is. I have it. What would I be doing? I wouldn't be fantasizing about it because I have it.
You could be
I
fantasizing
would be
about
going to
something.
my dance classes. I would be making my meals. I would be doing my thing. So
Yeah.
I would
And
be having this conversation with you.
I just love the fact, and I believe this to be true because there is evidence of it with my other friend who spent a very long time, like many, many, many years looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that seems to be her perfect match, who has shown up in the last year,
Mm-hmm.
is within 5 kilometers of where she lives. Like he
I know.
has always
Shocking.
lived there. So
That's so crazy.
they are hovering, they're circulating, they are in proximity all of the time. It's just there are
Uh-huh.
certain things that you or in your journey need to let go of or learn so that you're not making those same mistakes with that person
Yeah.
that comes in. So maybe think about all of the ways. I mean, acknowledge your past relationship maybe, and maybe see what certain triggers you still might have around that relationship that you do not want to take into your next one. Maybe
Yeah.
there are a few little bits that are not quite smoothed out
Hmm.
because you
Or
don't want.
maybe as well, I don't want to just jump into that next relationship without having fun and going on dates, which I've been doing too. Like I've
Exactly.
been enjoying the dating. So, I mean,
Yes.
maybe that's what
And they're
I'm
not going to come
doing.
along to
Yeah.
fill a hole. And if they are going to
Yeah.
come to fill a hole, they're not going to last that long. Like you have to fill that hole for yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
No pun,
What?
no pun intended at all. But anyway,
Yes.
but exactly my point, you have everything you need.
Yeah, there are many ways to fill a hole, for sure.
Yeah, it's the philosophy of it is very, very easy. I feel to understand it. It's just catching yourself when you don't actually feel like that.
Yeah.
It's like being honest with yourself. This is what the law of attraction is, and that toxic positivity, like really being honest with yourself when you do not feel like they are there. What is it right now that's missing? Let me address this in this moment, because I'm trying to trick myself right now. And that's not the objective either. We don't want to fool ourselves into thinking, oh, they're here when they're not, but because otherwise they would be. But what is the work I can do right now that needs addressing? What is the feeling that's coming up that's making me feel lack or lonely, or what's the feeling? Yeah, I suppose it's lack with regard to anything that isn't in your life.
Yeah.
Let me sit with that and let me lean into that and see what it is I need to heal right now,
Mm-hmm.
not deny that feeling.
Yeah.
But then go about your day as if they are there too. Like, I don't know, it's like it's a very, we have to allow ourselves to feel, while at the same time the way we feel in this moment isn't the entire truth of everything, because there are things always circulating around us that can come into our world within seconds, within hours.
And things can, you're right. A situation can flip like instantly. Like, I don't know, just an example through a text message. You might interpret it one way, and then you get a follow-up text and it means something completely different. So either the situation immediately flipped, or it's just how we are interpreting reality. That's another thing that I came across this week. I don't know if you've seen this study about time. Did you see the Harvard study about time? Okay. The Harvard professors, I don't know who they are, chose like 30 people to 30 volunteers. They signed up for this study and they didn't know which group they were in, but there was a small group that was on slowed down time, another group on normal time, and another group on sped up time, right?
On
And
their
they all believed,
watches.
yeah, like wherever they're in some place where everyone was in that same time. So they believed that their time was the real time. But in this
Okay.
one group, it was faster, and another group, it was slower. And then in the third group, it was real time. Okay. Well, what happened is the scars and their bodies healed differently according to the time that they actually were perceiving. So if they believed that, I mean, if they were on the slow time, it took them longer for their bodies to heal. If they were on the fast time, their bodies healed quicker than the standard normal time. So like, to me, that was just like, okay, wow. Another way that like our thoughts can change so much, or like the placebo effect can become real. Like what you believe totally affects how your body functions so much. So I thought that was super interesting.
And so how do you deal with time?
Yeah. So it's your perception of time in the end. If you think
I mean,
that
time
it's
is
moving
just a
fast,
perception. Yeah.
everything's moving fast. If you think that it's moving slow, it's moving slow because whatever, like if you're thinking that, your body's receiving that information and processing it that way. It's going to take me 2 years to get over this. Well, then your body like follows the orders, I guess. I don't know. It's like if you believe that time, that's the way it works.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit with not really acknowledging time that much. Like
Yeah.
in general, things that they do take the time they take. If I'm not fully clinging to a deadline, I feel like also for the flat, for example, we always
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be done by this April. Yeah, this April, Easter. And back in July, they had been to see it. We had agreed the contract more or less, and they were going to start. We spent from July to Christmas pissed off, like really annoyed that
Okay.
nothing had
Yeah.
been done.
Yeah.
There's no change as to whether they're going to actually fulfill their time or not yet. Like it
Right.
really doesn't matter because the timing has not yet passed.
Right.
And
Right. And
how
they
much
could
they
still get
can
it
get
done. Yeah.
done in the time frame that they still have is still, for the amount of work it is, more than feasible.
Right.
So
So
just let things kind of be a focus, but not obsessively like pay attention to them. Just allow them
yeah.
to, everything's working in the background kind of thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
my observation right now. And just seeing, well, again, with all the things that I want to be working on, which I feel like I am, it's doing the action and then allowing it to be, not
Right.
controlling the outcome. So
Mm-hmm.
the action of the flat is signing the contract, is getting them going, is getting the other people to take part in what is their work. That's not
Right.
my place to, I don't feel, micromanage that.
No, it's like out of your hands what they do.
Yeah. And as is everything that I'm creating and how it's perceived or what happens with it, that's out of my hands too. So recording this podcast and then putting it out there and then allowing it to just be.
Yeah.
So putting your love and appreciation for the love that you have is all about putting the energy out there and
Mm-hmm.
trusting that the outcome will be what is right for you and meant for you. And if it's not here right now, it's because right now isn't the time to have it. And that sounds fun
Exactly.
too.
Yes.
So slowing down or speeding up or just being
Whatever
in
you
the
want,
moment.
whatever you
Yeah.
feel like. So if you want to go fast, it's fast. If you want
Yeah.
to go slow, it's slow.
Fun. Fun, fun. So what's your week ahead looking like?
Um, Well, next weekend I am going to that new event, the West Coast Swing Dance. Are you coming?
I'm not sure still. That's too far ahead in time for me to decide.
Yes, time for you is like really slow in this
Time
sense.
for me is in the mostly in the moment. Do I want to do it right now? Yeah. Is there room for me? Yeah. Okay, I'm coming.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that will be a lot of fun. I hope it will be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's where my focus is going for next weekend. And then throughout the week, what are my intentions? I think I'm going to continue with, my 3 affirmations of who I'm going to continue with this model of be, do, have. So just working on who is that person who has the thing, right? So my affirmations or my, just 3 intentions of who I am to embody. Because like, why do I want that relationship anyways? To be this person. So just the intentions of being that person and then doing those things that bring me closer to being that person, or just help me embody being that person. And then I'm writing down the 3 magical mini intentions of having, and we'll see if they pop up.
Nice.
I'm not going to say them, but
Nice.
I'll say if they do pop up.
Very nice.
Yeah. And you?
I'm continuing to really be very, very in the present moment, acknowledging my conversations, acknowledging my words, really practicing the pause, and kind of helping some close family members along the way practice that pause as well. And just, having patience, because I know I get very quick to, oh, there's no results, let's move to something else, or I like things to be quick. And so it is really about me slowing down, not time slowing down, but me slowing down and continuing.
Right, because that would change the perception of everything else moving too slow. So you slow down and you're at the same pace as everything else.
And trusting that everything else is circulating and working around me, whether I can see it or not. So I don't always need to have results daily.
Yeah.
Those results will come. I just don't need to keep looking for the evidence of those results every 5 minutes, because that will actually slow time down.
Would be like neediness or fear-based instead of faith-based. So like always going back to the faith.
Doing my thing and trusting that it's being acknowledged. And
yes. And then when the signs appear, you say, thank you for showing me the sign.
That's the thing.
Instead of like desperately searching for the signs out of fear.
And even if they're not the signs you think they are, what is showing up for you to stop and adjust or acknowledge?
Yeah, because there could be messages or whatever, or gifts that we're not even accepting.
Well, that's where I really feel. And sometimes I'm like, I've got nothing to write down in my tests for today. And I'm questioning, have I missed something? Is something not annoyed me today?
Like, well, and do you need a test every day? Like, why do you want a test every day?
No, it's like, wow, that's a good day. Things are okay.
Oh, well, that would actually be a sign of progress, I would say, not needing a daily test.
Yeah. Unless I'm missing all the tests.
So not being aware enough.
Yeah. No, that's why my practice is to practice being presently and trying to be aware.
Yeah. So I feel like I need to give a shout out to this YouTuber called Quasi. I think his name is Quasi, because he's the one who appeared on my feed and gave me the idea of the 3 intentions of being, 3 intentions of doing, and 3 intentions of having. That is actually not from my own little
because I kind of feel
I heard it from him.
Okay, so maybe the 3 intentions, but the being, doing, and having we've discussed many times.
Yeah, and I think that originally comes from psycho-cybernetics or something like that, where you embody being, like the whole reason we want to have these things is because who are we when we have these things?
Yeah, but be also very aware of how everything can be taken away from you tomorrow, like LA. Like
yeah,
things
exactly.
be taken away.
So we don't need those things. So we're starting backwards. We're starting with who are we? We want to be this way. We are this way. And if you have a problem embodying it, then you work with affirmations, and you work on your thoughts, and you hope them to become your beliefs. You do the things that this person does. You believe you are this person.
And I just am being that person. Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic. That's all we need to do, because then really you don't need to have the things.
You don't need anything.
You either have them, they come, they go, but they're not validating who you are. You are that person. And so like if you don't have something in your life right now, it's probably because there is a gap, right? In those beliefs that you are that person, or at least that's the way I'm interpreting it now. That's why I'm working on my beliefs and embodying being that person, so that if I do feel the lack of something, well, then that's what I'm working on it with my beliefs. I am this person. It's okay. I don't have that thing because I am the person.
And then let it go. No checking in, no checking up.
No, because that's going back to the fear.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yes, it was great. The tea was fantastic.
And I'll check in with you again next week.
Yes. Okay. Look forward to it.
Bye.
Okay.